Imagine your favorite snack, the one you've eaten for years, suddenly landing on the banned list. Sounds extreme? Not anymore. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. launched his bold, Make America Healthy Again agenda, turning the spotlight on everyday foods loaded with chemicals we were told were safe. From kids' cereals to so-called healthy snacks, these ingredients have quietly wreaked havoc, fueling chronic disease, mental health issues, and even early death. Now, some of the worst offenders are being banned, restricted, or quietly removed from the shelves. And today, I'm going to show you the 10 most dangerous foods and ingredients finally being exposed, and why it's more urgent than ever to get them out of your life. Let's dive in. Number 1. Artificial food dyes. Red 3, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, blue 2, green 3. These dyes make our food look bright, fun, and kid-friendly, but the truth behind them isn't so colorful. These artificial dyes have been linked to hyperactivity in children, allergies, mood and behavior issues, and even cancer in lab animals. Many countries have already banned them, but here in the U.S., they've stayed in our food supply. Secretary RFK Jr. says it's time to change that, and he's pushing to get them out for good. Number 2. High fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is cheap, addictive, and absolutely everywhere. It's not just a sweetener, it's a fast track to obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, and heart disease. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has repeatedly called it a poison and a major driver behind America's metabolic health crisis. He's pushing for serious reform, from pulling it out of school lunches and government programs to overhauling farm subsidies that make this harmful ingredient so dangerously affordable. Number 3. Seed oils. Seed oils like canola, cottonseed, grapeseed, soybean, corn, sunflower, and safflower were once marketed as heart-healthy. But that label couldn't be further from the truth. These highly refined oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which disrupt the body's natural balance and fuel chronic inflammation. And inflammation is a driving force behind many modern diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and even cancer. Studies also link high seed oil consumption to insulin resistance, obesity, and cognitive decline, including memory loss and early dementia. These oils are also unstable when heated and prone to oxidation, forming harmful compounds that can damage cells and accelerate aging from the inside out. Secretary Kennedy is pushing to remove these harmful oils from school lunches and government food programs and replace them with truly healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, and unrefined coconut oil. Fats your body can actually recognize and thrive on. Number 4. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and acesulfame potassium are often marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar. But don't be fooled. These synthetic chemicals can quietly wreak havoc on your body. Research shows they disrupt the delicate balance of your gut microbiome, impair insulin sensitivity, and may even increase cravings for sugar, the exact opposite of what they promise. Worse, some studies have linked long-term consumption to increased risks of cancer, anxiety, and metabolic disorders. Despite the mounting evidence, these chemicals are still found in thousands of everyday products like diet sodas, protein shakes, chewing gum, flavored yogurts, and even chewable children's vitamins. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has called attention to these dangers and is advocating for strong public education efforts, clearer labeling, and the eventual removal of artificial sweeteners from school lunches and government-sponsored nutrition programs. His goal is simple: stop feeding Americans, especially children, chemicals disguised as food. Number 5. Ultra-processed foods. Foods like frozen pizza, chicken nuggets, sugary cereals, and shelf-stable desserts aren't just convenient. They're chemical cocktails disguised as food. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to sit on shelves for months, but the real cost is what they do to your health. They're loaded with synthetic preservatives, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, artificial colors, sugar, and toxic seed oils. These ingredients don't just keep food fresh, they inflame your body from the inside out. Studies have connected ultra-processed foods to chronic inflammation, obesity, heart disease, cognitive decline, and even early death. RFK Jr. is calling for these lab-made products to be phased out of school cafeterias and government-funded food programs altogether. His message is clear. We shouldn't be feeding growing children food that's designed in factories and linked to disease. Instead, we need to bring real, whole, nourishing foods back to the table because food should fuel life, not shorten it. Number 6. Sugary breakfast cereals. Ever wondered why breakfast cereals are so addictive? It's simple: sugar, and lots of it. Many of the cereals marketed to kids and even adults as healthy, whole grain, or fortified with vitamins actually pack more sugar per serving than a glazed donut. It's dessert disguised as breakfast. These cereals spike blood sugar levels, fuel insulin resistance, and contribute to obesity, mood swings, and even attention problems in children. What's worse? They're often dressed up with cartoon characters to target the most vulnerable, our kids. RFK Jr. isn't buying the marketing lies. He's pushing to remove these sugar-laden cereals from government-supported programs like school breakfasts and SNAP. His goal: stop normalizing dessert for breakfast and start demanding food that actually supports growing minds and bodies. Number 7. Processed meats. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, deli meats, and hot dogs are some of the most commonly consumed foods but come with serious hidden dangers. They're often packed with nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that can convert into carcinogenic compounds when cooked at high temperatures. Beyond these, many processed meats contain a cocktail of artificial flavorings, stabilizers, and additives you can barely recognize, all designed to extend shelf life and enhance taste. While not all processed meats are created equal, the majority are heavily overprocessed and linked to increased risks of certain cancers, heart disease, and other chronic conditions. RFK Jr. highlights these concerns, pushing for stricter regulations to protect consumers from these harmful additives. Number 8. Petroleum-Based Additives. Some of the food we feed our kids is made with chemicals derived from petroleum. Artificial colors like red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1 are all made from petroleum and are hiding in popular snacks, cereals, candies, and even vitamins. These additives have been banned or heavily restricted in countries like the UK and across Europe due to strong links to hyperactivity, behavioral problems, and potential long-term health risks. Yet here in the US, they're still approved for consumption. RFK Jr. wants to change that. He's calling out this insanity and pushing for a ban on petroleum-based additives in food, especially food targeted at children. Because let's face it, there's no reason your breakfast or your kid's gummy vitamin should have the same ingredients as motor oil. Number 9. Sugar-Sweetened Beverages. These aren't just harmless thirst quenchers. They're some of the most dangerous products in our food supply. Sugar-sweetened beverages like soda, fruit-flavored drinks, and energy drinks deliver a direct hit of liquid sugar to your bloodstream, spiking blood glucose levels, encouraging insulin resistance, and fueling belly fat. Over time, this leads to type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and even heart problems. And the worst part? These drinks are aggressively marketed to children and low-income communities, the very people most vulnerable to chronic disease. RFK Jr. has called for urgent action against this industry manipulation, advocating for tighter regulation and better public education. It's time to put people before profits. Number 10. Fast food French fries. French fries may seem like a simple comfort food, but what you're really getting is a chemical cocktail. They're typically fried in cheap, oxidized seed oils like soybean or canola oil, which are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids that disrupt the body's natural balance and drive inflammation. Even worse, The high-heat frying process creates acrylamide, a toxic compound that's been linked to cancer in animal studies. And that golden, crispy coating? It's often flavored and preserved with additives that have no place in the human body. RFK Jr. has made it clear, if we're serious about health in America, we have to rethink what's being served in every drive-thru. There you have it, 10 foods and ingredients that are either quietly disappearing or desperately need to. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because once you know better, you eat better, you demand better. And slowly, things change. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because when we protect our plates, we protect our future.